Coming up, the Maserati unfixes itself in the best possible way.
Okay, not good, not good, not good.
I gambled and bought this 2013 Quattroporte GTS at an auction. It racked up 301,000 kilometers and was delivered with an engine problem. Specifically, it was running poorly, misfiring, and had timing-related codes. We had to remove the engine in search of the problem and found that a camshaft variator failed. We replaced all 4 of them, all of the chains and guides, had the turbos refreshed, and so on. The engine started on the first try and sounded mint after that service.
But now it sounds...
With the engine sorted, or so I thought at the time, we are now picking up the action and getting it ready to hit the road. Starting with the brakes, which were heavily worn out and due for replacement. Massparts.net came through again. They had a full kit in stock for this GTS and gave me a discount on these very expensive brakes. They are a great source for Maserati, Ferrari, Lamborghini and Bentley parts, so check them out if you need anything for those brands. Thanks, Massparts.
Clean the hub. Now I need to retract the pistons. I cracked open the brake fluid reservoir. Wheel hub paste only on the lip. The brake discs are exactly the same, they don't have a side. This screw, special order from Maserati from Italy that didn't arrive, so we're using the old one. Let's put back the caliper. It'll be easier to replace the pads. Now, knock out the pins. A 13 mil here for the central bolt. Take the old pads out. So funnily enough, on the backing plate over there it says Brembo, but on the edge here it says Urit. Clean the sliding surface. Brass brush. The brake pad, you have this arrow here which points the direction in which the rotor turns. So this goes like that. Then we have this backing plate, which just pops into place. And now we need to apply brake paste here where the pistons go, and then a bit here on the sliding surface and the bottom as well. And now we can slide this into place. Clip the wear sensor connector here, and this one. First, the central screw. New pins and the spring clip. You have an arrow here pointing up. So that goes like that. And tap it into place. And clip in the sensor. And that's the front brakes done. The rear brackets. Unbolt the caliper. I also wanted to replace the brake lines, but guess what? They're not available, at least not the front ones. So we're gonna leave them alone. I did inspect them though, and they're okay. They don't have any cracks. I disengaged the electronic parking brake. The rear is done as well.
Now we are going to service the transmission. I lost a bit of footage here, happens when you work on 13 projects at the same time, but I already drained the oil and now we are going to replace the oil pan with the integrated filter. The ones in the back I'm going to leave slightly loose so we can lean the pan that way and drain more fluid. Okay.
Whoa, great.
The pan doesn't look too bad. A bit of shavings on the magnets here, but not terrible. Acceptable.
Filter does look dirty though.
We're not going to touch the valve body. As far as I know, the transmission is working fine. That being said, I've never properly driven the car, so I guess we'll find out later. But for now, new filter and fresh oil. Clean the surface. Very good. I'm gonna grab the new pan, and thankfully it comes with fresh bolts. As this pan was sitting loosely in the box, make sure you use compressed air to blow it out. The new pan has 4 magnets in the back here, and now make sure you lube up this O-ring here and pop it into place. I'm just going to slowly drive them in. So the torque sequence is from inside to out in a crisscross pattern, and the torque speculation is 10 Newton meters. Now you're going to start filling the transmission until it starts overflowing. This is the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, and for the fluid we are using Liqui Moly Top Tech 1800. That is full. Refit the plug. Now I'm going to start the car, run it through all of the gears, and then monitor the oil temperature of the transmission. It needs to reach 50 degrees Celsius. Then I'm going to run it through the gears again, and we can crack open the fill plug, and we need to start filling the transmission between 50 and 60 degrees Celsius. Once it starts dripping out, that's it, the transmission level is correct, and we can torque down the fill plug. Nice cold start. Okay. Reverse, foot on the brake, neutral, drive. Says to run it through D1 and D2. That's about all you can do. Transmission oil temperature currently 32 degrees Celsius. I'm gonna put my diagnostic tool there. Leave the door ajar. Slowly getting there. Transmission oil temperature 46. 4 more degrees to go. The oil temp is 50 degrees, so you can start filling up the transmission. Be very careful here. This exhaust is piping hot. We are at 50 degrees and the transmission is full. That's perfect. Give it a nice good twist. Fantastic. Transmission service completed. The spider plate, that's what the repair manual calls it. The sound that you're hearing right now, that's the auxiliary pump working and coolant circulating, cooling the turbos, I believe. And we have 2 clips here. I think this goes, oh, look at that, okay. That's the underside done. New cabin air filter. Quickly make sure they're working properly. And finally, the V8 cover. Maserati! We are done underneath of the hood of this vehicle. The freshly refinished wheels with Michelin Pilot Sport 4S rubber.
Oh, these are so heavy. Still waiting on the wheel caps. Finally back on the ground after so many months. My lift is free!
Next up, the steering wheel. The old one was worn out and someone at some point re-dyed it, which doesn't look nice or worthy of a Maserati. A nice subscriber from Spain, Mihai, reached out and offered to redo the steering wheel with the original blue leather back to OE standard. He really did a phenomenal job, and if you need your steering wheel redone, his contact info is in the description.
Gotta torque the wheels. We need to move it over to the 4-post lift so we can torque down the front while the lower strut bolt. Oh, that is a nice cold start. There we go, finally driving. Oh, fantastic, this is gonna take forever. $3 million point turn completed. Ah, the shifter is so stupid. See if this thing will even fit on the left. I think we are on. I just cleared all of the codes and now the airbag light is off. I think the battery was just discharged, and now that it's fully charged, the airbag light went away, which is excellent. Nice and easy fix. Brand new wheel caps arrived from Italy, thanks to Moss Parts. Nice. There we are.
And now to get this thing road legal. As this car was imported from Italy, to register it in Germany, all you have to do is just pass the tooth inspection. However, as it has foreign papers, in order to do the inspection and get German papers, you need a COC paper. This can be only obtained directly from the manufacturer, in this case, Maserati. Now, I've done this many times in the past with BMWs, and with BMW, it is as simple as walking into the dealership with your ID and proof that you own the car, pay 150 to 150 euros, and a few days later you can pick up the COC paper. How about Maserati then? Should be similar, right? Wrong. You need to make an appointment with Maserati and then bring the car in for a safety inspection, which will set you back 350 euros. If everything is good, only then can Maserati rob 574 euros from you for a piece of paper. The best part is that it will take 4 to 6 weeks for them to actually give you this golden piece of paper. So you're looking at the cost to tow the car to Maserati and around 130 euros for the tooth inspection. To sum up, it will cost you around 1,150 euros, including the tow, and roughly a month and a half, maybe 2 months just to pass the tooth inspection, and then you can finally register it. I was not about to participate in these charades, went a different route and skipped the Maserati altogether. I got in touch with TÜV Süd through their website. Depending on the car and where it was imported from, you can buy a data sheet from them that contains all the important information necessary for the tooth inspection. Luckily, they were able to provide the data sheet for this car, which set me back 282 euros and was delivered in 1 to 2 days. After that, it was as simple as taking the car in for the tooth inspection, which it passed without any issues, and I was finally able to register this car in Germany.
The Viper Blatt is... Ah, this better fit. Let us see. Looks like it should fit. Ah, yes. Very good. The hood struts, these should be the correct ones. Beautiful.
Lastly, the windshield washer fluid from Liquimoli.
Time for the first drive. Listen to that exhaust. Man, it sounds good. Riding in my Maserati. First stop is not the Autobahn. The first stop is the nearby shop so I can get the AC recharged. And we also need fuel. RL 102. Be right back. Fuel tank is on the left side. Don't think I ever had a car that has a fuel tank on the... What? Well, that's great. Yeah, someone already tried to glue it. They used a ton of super glue and it didn't work. And they also dripped it here. Got a full tank of fuel. I doubt we can recharge the AC today because it's quite late in the day, but let's see if I can make an appointment for tomorrow at least. Okay, this is a very bad road here. And it looks like the suspension is good on the first glance. It's actually quite soft. I like it. Let's see, maybe they're having a slow day. Fortunately, no go on the AC. They don't have time today, so I gotta come back tomorrow morning. I'm going to have to suffer today. All right, let's go straight for the Autobahn. Definitely gonna cook myself in here. I gotta get used to the size of the car. It's huge. All right, let's see. Suspension, sport mode. I mean, yeah, it's firmer. Oh yeah, it's definitely firmer. Sport mode, Sport S. What is ICE? Increased control and efficiency mode. Okay. M is manual. And then you can turn the traction control off as well. That's cool. Cigarette lighter, well used. The car is from Italy after all. It's 3 o'clock, which means we're gonna have heavy traffic, but I'm kind of anxious to drive this thing properly. The city's comfy. I don't think I would mind this on a long journey. Autobahn, here we come. Sport mode, suspension in sport. I'll leave the transmission in the automatic mode, and let's see how this goes. If the car is gonna blow up on the first test drive. There's the beautiful sign, foot to the floor. All right, here we go. Oh, oil pressure low. The shit? Okay, not good, not good, not good, not good.
Oh yes, things are starting to come to the surface. Calming down in the next episode.
Yes, the issue is fixed. I think I'm hearing something. Please don't tell me.
We are going to park this one here while I wrap my brain around what the hell happened. But let's just say everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And does anyone have a used Maserati engine for sale? Asking for a friend, you know?